Hey there, pirates! Welcome aboard the Anime-nomi channel. Ethan Zoro, holder of the title God of Finance Warrior, and Dracula Mihawk, holder of the title of the world's greatest swordsman, are both undeniably enemies of Roronoa Zoro, and carry notable swords from the Saijo o Wazamono classification. We know that swords reaching this level, referred to as supreme grade, are more durable and sharper than other blades. Additionally, in some cases, they possess mysterious properties, as we saw with the Kitetsu carried by Elder Nusjuro, which increased in size when he transformed. We have always imagined that Zoro would wield the Shodai Kitetsu, and now that we have discovered its holder and his importance in the final saga, the question arises, which Saijo o Wazamono will Zoro wield? I will reveal this in today's video. But before we proceed with the video, it is important that you leave your like and subscribe to the channel. Only then will you awaken your devil fruit and become even more powerful. Now let's get to the video. Before we continue with the video, I want to quickly teach you how to access a course that can rapidly teach anyone, even if they think they have no talent, how to draw any anime character and create their favorite characters. Additionally, you'll get access to 2 amazing drawing technique books. And the best part is, they are free. Today's video is in partnership with Noah Williams from Anime Express. He's already famous for teaching people how to draw anime. Even if you think you have no talent, anyone can easily learn with his formula. So it's simple, you just need to click the link in the description to understand how everything works. Don't waste any time. I'm already ready to learn. How about you? Click the link in the description or the pinned comment and start learning now. Guys, in Japanese history, and in our case in One Piece, a meito is a sword of exceptional quality. These swords are considered legendary and are very powerful. We learned of their existence through Toshigi, and there are 3 main classes of meitos, indicating the quality and rarity of the sword. The first classification of a meito is the Ryo Wazamono, known as skillful grade blades. These are 50 swords that possess superior quality compared to normally forged swords. After that, with a higher quality degree, we have the O Wazamono, known as great grade blades. In this case, there are only 21 existing swords, which possess a level superior to the previous one. And finally, we have the Saijo o Wazamono, the supreme grade blades. In all history, there are only 12 existing swords, the most powerful and rarest swords that could exist. There are also simple meitos, the Wazamono. These swords are scattered around the world, and we do not know how many of them are out there. However, what matters in today's video are the Saijo o Wazamono, the supreme grade swords, carried by the great names in the history of One Piece. In over 1,000 chapters of One Piece's story, only 4 supreme grade blade users have been revealed to us, and all of them marked history. Goldie Roger, the Pirate King, wielded the sword Ace. Edward Newgate, the world's strongest man, wielded the Bisento Murakumogiri. Dracula Mihawk, the world's greatest swordsman, wields the sword Yoru. And finally, a member of the 5 elders, Ethan Nusjuro, wields the Shodai Kitetsu. As I said at the beginning of the video, we expected Zoro to be the bearer of the Shodai Kitetsu, the most powerful cursed sword of the Kitetsu series. But that did not happen, as this sword is carried by the swordsman of the 5 elders. Contrary to what we thought at the beginning of the series, there are not just 3 Kitetsus, 1 of each grade. After all, we recently discovered that Kitetsu is a school of blacksmiths in the country of Wano, meaning there was a teaching passed down among some blacksmiths, creating the tradition of making Kitetsu swords. These blacksmiths are very skilled, perhaps the most skilled in the world, and forge some of the most powerful swords in the world. Each of their swords is known as cursed swords or demon swords, and it is said that they eventually kill whoever wields them. Therefore, it is possible that another Kitetsu still exists in the world, another cursed sword that is also part of the supreme grade, and this, in turn, could eventually end up in the hands of the Straw Hat Pirates' swordsman, Roronoa Zoro, perhaps being gifted by one of the crew's allies. Some speculate that Rayleigh himself at some point in history wielded a Dark Blade, one of the cursed Kitetsus, and hence received the title of Dark King. This possibility would be incredible because it would give us many immediate answers for the great final battle, also explaining how Rayleigh really fought in the past and why he received the title that accompanied his legend. However, that is not what will happen. There is another possibility, the most interesting one, which has practically already been confirmed in the manga, that Zoro already has his supreme grade blade in hand, but it has not yet reached that level. As I said, 12 swords have been marked in history for having this level of durability and sharpness, But a 13th sword can emerge at any time, even if it was not initially cataloged at this level. The sword that can strengthen itself, improving its durability and sharpness. The only sword presented so far capable of doing something like this is already in Zoro's possession. This sword is Enma. As you know, it is already one of the 21 Owazamono swords, even considered a masterpiece of the legendary blacksmith Shimotsuki Kozaburo. The sword Enma is already among the best swords in the world, and we saw that Kozuki Hiyori considered this sword a worthy replacement for the legendary sword Shusui, which was in the hands of the most famous swordsman of all time. Tengiyama Hitetsu describes its power as being able to cut through the depths of hell, which justifies Zoro's new title of King of Hell, who wields this blade. In the hands of the master samurai Odin, Enma became the only weapon known to have injured the almost invulnerable Kaido, giving him his only scar, which in Wano was reopened by Zoro using the same sword. And now the most important part for our video today. According to Hitetsu, if Zoro can make Enma a permanently black blade, the sword can increase its classification. In other words, it has already been revealed that the sword Zoro currently wields can change its level, becoming an even more powerful sword. Not only that, but the exact word used by Hitetsu was that the sword can change its classification. 21 great grade blades. That is the classification that Enma currently holds. It is already one of the 21 swords that belong to the second most powerful grade among the most powerful swords. And within this ranking, the swords are not classified among themselves. So, if Enma is going to change its classification, it is confirmed that it will become one of the supreme grade blades. Many people did not notice this confirmation in the manga, but it has already been revealed that Zoro has his supreme grade sword in hand. Oda always gives us information loosely so that in the future he can complete it, and with this information, it will be no different. The sword Enma will evolve and change its classification. Not only that, but with the discovery that there are more blacksmiths skilled in the art of making kitetsu, we can imagine that Shimotsuki Kozaburo, a talented blacksmith from Wano, could be one of them. With the transformation of the blade, it could become one of the cursed swords, the demon sword of the King of Hell. This would put Zoro on equal footing with the other great swordsmen currently presented. Both Gorosei, Ethan Baron, Fronte Nusjuro, and Dracula Mihawk possess supreme grade swords. Zoro, as the one who will defeat them and become the most powerful swordsman in the world, perhaps the most powerful swordsman of all time, would need to wield a blade of the same level. The question is how Zoro would evolve the Enma blade. For Zoro to reach the supreme grade of the Enma sword, he will need to transform the sword into a black blade. This means he must permanently infuse the sword with his haki, a form of spiritual energy. Tengiyama Hitetsu mentioned that Zoro can achieve this transformation using Ryu, which is an advanced form of armament haki. Ryu allows the user to channel their armament haki more precisely and powerfully, which is essential to strengthen the sword and transform it into a black blade. However, there is the possibility that Zoro will also need to improve his use of Conqueror's haki, which is the rarest and most powerful form of haki. Combining Conqueror's haki with Ryu could be the key for Zoro to transform Enma into a supreme grade blade. Conqueror's haki allows the user to impose their will on others, and when imbued in a sword along with Ryu, it can significantly increase the sword's power and durability. If Zoro can master both types of haki and use them in harmony, he will be able to achieve the supreme grade with Enma, making it one of the most powerful swords in the world, and thus, finally, he will be able to reach the level necessary to face Mihawk. The sword Enma will be Zoro's most powerful sword, and this has already been confirmed in the manga. That's a wrap for today's content. We hope you enjoyed it and want to share your thoughts on the subject. Don't forget to share the video, give it a thumbs up, and catch you in the next video. Take care and stay awesome.